Now, last week we focused on the word, because I wanted you to see from the Tanakh how that was used. I wanted you to see what that meant. But in order to understand what Elazar is saying here, we need to focus now on the word God. And I know that might seem simplistic, but who was it that was with the Word? See, our text says the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And I have to ask, what God? Whose God? See, the Anglo-Saxon word God means the invoked one. The English word God is very nebulous. It really tells us nothing about who the Word was. So who is the Word? Is it Tot, the Egyptian god of magic? What God? See, in deism, God is the creator of the universe, and He went and He wound it up, and He set it into play, and He let it go, and He's detached from it, and He has nothing to do with it. Is that the God He's talking about? In pantheism, God is in everything. He is the universe. Now, when referring to God, a follower of the New Age is not talking about the transcendent, personal God who created the universe, but is referring to a higher consciousness within themselves. Muslims believe that the one Almighty God, is named Allah, who is infinitely superior to and transcended from humankind. Hindus acknowledge multiple gods and goddesses. So who is the God here? Who is it that the Word is with? You say, well, you're nitpicking. Maybe, but follow with me on this, okay? In the Greek, the word God is a translation of the word theos, meaning mighty one. Theos can refer to a man. It can refer to a deity. The context determines its meaning. Now, assuming the word always refers to a deity is an error. The Greek used it many times for people who were in authority. They called them mighty ones, theos. In the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Tanakh, they translate El, Elohim, and Yahweh, all of them, as theos. Now, hopefully that has some significance to you, okay? To translate Yahweh as theos is a huge mistake. It is destroying the name of Yahweh, all right? It is covering it up. Yahweh includes the verb hava, meaning to exist. And the letter yod as a prefix means he, so Yahweh means he exists. Now, if it's a causative verb, it would mean he causes to exist. But both are true. Yahweh is the self-existent one who causes to exist. But the Greek word theos simply means strength. Now, almost 7,000 times in the Septuagint, they mistranslated Yahweh as theos. They removed the name of Yahweh from the Tanakh with the Greek translation. And in the New Testament, they removed the name of Yahweh from our Bible. The closest Hebrew equivalent to mighty one or theos is Elohim. Elohim is used 2,606 times in the New American Standard Bible. Elohim is simply the plural of El, which comes from a root word meaning might or strength. So El and theos, very similar, all right, in their meaning. Elohim is plural, but it's what grammarians call a morphological plural. You know what that is, right? Hebrew nouns that end in I-am are plural. But in most cases throughout the Tanakh, the meaning is singular. And we know this from Hebrew grammar. Elohim is like our English word deer or sheep. How do you know if deer is singular or plural? Well, you've got to tell by the grammar of the sentence, because it can be used either way. All right, I shot a deer. Well, that would probably be singular, okay? You've got to tell by the context, all right? Well, in the very first use of Elohim in Genesis 1:1, the verb bara identifies the subject of the verb as masculine singular. So even though it's a plural word, see, people make a big deal about, the very first verse of Genesis, in the beginning was the Word. God created, in the beginning, God created. And the God there is Elohim, so they say, see, that's a trinity there. Well, it's a singular, okay? It's a singular. Yes, it's a plural form, but it's singular because of the context. All right? Now, you may think of Elohim as another name of Yahweh, but Elohim is used in Scripture of many others besides Yahweh. What I want you to see is El and Theos, very similar in their use. But the Tanakh made very clear to add almost 7,000 times in the Tanakh the word Yahweh, because that's His name. And He wanted us to know His name. Yahweh is called Elohim over 2,000 times because Yahweh is a God. In Genesis 1, we know that Yahweh is called Elohim there, but here's what you have to understand. He's not the only one called Elohim. Yahweh is the only Yahweh, but He's not the only Elohim. Elohim is used of the gods of foreign nations. We see that in 1 Kings 11:33. Because they have forsaken me and have worshipped Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Sidonians, Chemosh, the god of Moab, and Milcom, the god of the sons of Ammon. Well, here, goddess and God in this text are Elohim. So Elohim is used of foreign gods. It's not talking about Yahweh. It's talking about foreign gods. The angelic watchers or the divine council are also called Elohim. Psalm 82. God takes His stand in His own congregation. He judges in the midst of the rulers. Here, God and rulers are both the word Elohim. Wasn't it nice of the translators to take the word Elohim and decide to use it in the same verse, but one translated God and the other translated rulers? That's called translator's bias. Okay? They think he's talking about the rulers. They think he's talking about Jewish rulers or something, which is kind of foolish if you look at the next verse. I said you are gods, Elohim, and all of you are sons of the Most High. All right, so he's saying you're gods, but then notice what he says next. Nevertheless, you'll die like men. So he's talking to men and he says, you're going to die like men. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's how most men die. Okay, but if he's talking to gods, he's talking about we're going to take away your immortality. You messed up. This is the divine council. God is in the council. He's talking to them. He said, you are Elohim. You're sons of the Most High, but you're going to die like men. He's going to judge them because of their sin. So Elohim is used of foreign gods. Elohim is used of the divine council. God's in that council. Elohim is used of demons. Now you want to take that same word. That's what I said. It's these words are so broad. Deuteronomy 32:17, they sacrificed to demons who were not God, to gods whom they have not known, new gods who came lately, whom your fathers did not dread. Here God is Elohim and gods is Elohim also. So the demons are called Elohim. I like this one because most people miss this one, but Samuel, when he was dealing with the witch of Endor said this. The king said to her, do not be afraid, but what do you see? And the woman said, I see Saul. I see a divine being coming up out of the earth. That's Elohim. You say, well, wait a minute. All these other ones are gods, and how does he get to be in that? What connects Samuel with these others that are demons or gods or foreign gods or Yahweh? What's the connection there? Well, the Tanakh refers to, I think Heiser, let him say it. He says Elohim is a place of residence locator. All right? Meaning that Elohim is used of those who are in the spirit world. Samuel was dead, not here anymore. So now he is an Elohim. He is in the spirit world. So you can see that Elohim has a broad range of uses. It's not strictly referring to Yahweh. Yahweh is called Elohim, but all Elohims are not Yahweh, obviously. Anyway, my point is that Elohim, like Theos, is used of many different spiritual entities and is therefore not a good substitute for Yahweh. Yahweh is found almost 7,000 times in the Tanakh, not once in the New Testament. The sad thing is, even in our scriptures, it's covered up in the Tanakh. It's translated Lord instead of Yahweh. They've just removed the name of God from the scriptures. It is Yahweh, the creator and sustainer of the universe, that was with the Word at the beginning. Yahweh. God could mean different entities, but there is only one Yahweh. So here's my problem. To me, theos, and I've never heard anybody bring this up or talk about it. So maybe I'm out to lunch, and you can give me some feedback if you will. But when you're in the New Testament and all you see is theos, and theos is used for all kinds of different things, it's not a good substitute at all. Where's Yahweh in our New Testament? Listen, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahweh. He wasn't with a demon. He wasn't with a false god. He wasn't with Samuel. He was with Yahweh. And I think that's important. Now, to distinguish the one true God from pagan deities, the majority of Greek texts precede the noun theos with a definite article, ha. All right, so they say, well, we'll fix that. We'll make it tell. So they'll be able to tell if it's the real God or just a false God. We'll put the definite article in front of it. Okay? Now, to simply say the God does not prove that He's the supreme deity, does not prove it's Yahweh. Matter of fact, for example, let's look at a few verses where they put the definite article in front of theos, ha theos. Philippians 3:19, whose end is destruction, whose God is their appetite. Is this talking about the true God? No, but there's a definite article there in the Greek. Ha theos. What? Whose end is destruction, whose the God is their appetite. Here their God is their belly. It's just pleasure. They want to be happy. That's their God. But it's used, this is how they're designating the true God. The word theos also denotes the heathen god of idols. Look at Acts 11. When the crowd saw what Paul had done and raised their voices saying in the Lycaonian language, the gods have become like men. And here it's ha theos. That's kind of crazy. 1 Corinthians 8:5. For even if there are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, indeed there are many gods and many lords. Again, the definite article's there. Ha theos. So how is this usage designating the one supreme God? Even Satan is called theos. 2 Corinthians 4:4. In whose case the God of this world. Now notice here in this verse, this is what's interesting. Ha theos is used of Satan here. Ha theos is used of Christ here. So what's that tell you? I mean, they're using the same exact word for both of them. So they say, well, that's how they designate in the Greek. So theos in the New Testament is very much like El or Elohim in the Tanakh. The problem in the New Testament is there's no other name used to distinguish Yahweh. The God of gods, the Lord of lords. And when Eleazar says the Word was with God, he means Yahweh. He doesn't mean a deity. He doesn't mean someone in the spirit world. He means Yahweh, the supreme God. I love this verse in Joshua. Listen to what Joshua says. The mighty one, God, Yahweh. The mighty one, God, Yahweh. He knows, and may Israel itself know. This phrase, the mighty one, God, Yahweh, is El, Elohim, Yahweh, and it can be translated, Yahweh is the greatest God. Love that phrase. El Elohim, Yahweh. Yahweh's the greatest God. He's superior to any of them. There's no comparison. And that's why it's just frustrating to me that there's no indication of this in the New Testament. None. It's just theos. And if you know Greek, you know theos is really nebulous. Notice he says it twice. El, Elohim, Yahweh, twice. I want you guys to get this, he's saying. I want you to understand.